Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update. We're going to work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I go and dive deeper into these sectors, looking at individual companies and which ones I like and put in my portfolio. We do have a coupon going on, LEAP, LEAP. It is still active, 50% off the first month to try it out, or you can get a discount on the yearly membership. So let's dive into the charts. Let's see what's going on with the markets. So looking at the charts here, the dollar unexpectedly really strong today. I mean, really strong. And that's going to have an impact on precious metals with a dollar that strong. It is a bullish engulfing, and we could see follow through to this move to the upside. So in the short term, we've been moving back and forth with these movements. So short term, I think the dollar could go higher with what we've got traded today. The 2-year yield, it is higher today, up 0.9%. It's not a life-changing move here, but the 2-year yield, a lot of the yields are correlated to oil price. And oil is the translator of money and credit in the system into consumer price index inflation. So the yields generally follow what crude oil does. And I'm not saying that we had a big day in crude oil, but I can see kind of like an inverted head and shoulders here that could break to the upside. So again, we'll monitor the 2-year yield. It's basically gone sideways from November of 23 in this big kind of looping pattern there. And some people say it's a cup and handle. It's not necessarily a cup and handle because you weren't coming from the downside up. It looks like a inverted head and shoulders bottoming pattern where we could go higher. 10-year yield's flat, but still it's holding on and looks good. This very well could make a move to the upside. And the 30-year is flat, and this very well could make a move to the upside on the 30-year. It's right above support. So the 2 years not quite as crystal clear. The longer end of the curve looks like it is holding steady. This is the 30-year and 10-year, what I consider to be the yield curve. It's still inverted. We are sitting here inverted, 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 inverted. Now, how long are we going to stay inverted? I don't know that. I don't think anyone knows that. But generally speaking, it's a good spot to be looking for precious metals. And when it does uninvert, that's when everyone will be happy with their precious metals holdings. Bond prices also moving sideways on the 20-year, right up against resistance support. Are we going to go lower, or are we going to work our way on up? Don't know at this time. The 2 and 10-year, we did see yield curve inversion today. Not necessarily a tailwind for precious metals. So looking at precious metals, they still performed quite well in the face of a very strong dollar and the yield curve inverting further. So we do have a break to the upside. We have kind of like a retest all in one day almost. And are we still going to get that move to the upside? We very well could. Momentum's to the upside. It's broken to the upside. So let's give it time to work its way on up. Let's see if we can do that. It's not great having a gigantic wick at the top here. And I'm surprised at how much selling pressure we've got at all-time highs. I'm a little surprised by that. I'm just wondering if our boy JP Morgan is in here doing a little bit of spoofing. I don't know. So silver's down a little bit. Well, I don't like the candlestick that much. We're still above support. We're right on that support level of the trend line. Today, we have a strong selling pressure day. We gapped up and sold off with momentum heading towards that support area, that support trend line. We'll see if there's follow through. Let's see tomorrow if there's follow through. We had a lot of momentum here. It looked very good. Did our boy JP Morgan show up to spoof us? I don't know. But let's see what occurs over the next few days. Platinum was allowed to go higher. This still looks like we could see a little bit of a bouncing sideways. I don't see the big buying pressure, the big elongated green candlesticks. So it looks like we have to turn this thing around first. And palladium's doing the same thing. We've got a couple of strong selling pressure days there and there, and we don't have a strong bounce yet. XEU to gold ratio, gold and silver mining companies basically flat to gold. We're at a very low level, and we haven't broken the big long-term downtrend line yet. CRB index, we are up a little bit, 0.4%. I still think this will cruise its way on higher. It might be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but it still looks really good going up. CRB to S&P 500, we are sideways today. And is this the retest we're looking for to move on up? I'm going to wait and see. Again, I don't know the future, but I like how this is getting all scribed out, very similar to last bull market. Oops, sorry, let's choose this one. The pattern here, if I were to draw it, this here is this here. The head is this, and then this guy is this guy. We've come on back. I think I've got that drawn right. No. My bad. Sorry. That is that. This is this. And then this guy is this guy. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Because I was looking at it, I was like, I didn't think I drew that right. So I do think we're getting close here. It's got a very similar setup. Let's hope we can get moving here. GDX down a little bit today. Now, is this a reversal candlestick? It doesn't necessarily meet dark cloud cover because it didn't get to the 50% point. So could this just be a larger bloody nose? We really got smacked in the face, big bloody nose, maybe. That could be. So we've got a bullish engulfing here. We could have a bloody nose. And let's see what tomorrow has in store for us. And all of these candlesticks have that. We're right at these trend lines that they're trying to break out of. And we're getting some resistance. Are they reversal candlesticks or are they bloody noses? I'm going to go with a bloody nose at this time, which means we very well could continue to the upside. Crude oil down slightly, down 0.3%. I think it still looks very good. Let's hope that we can RIP, rip it. Let's hope we can rip it here. We are coming into seasonality strength. The seasonal strength is pretty pronounced in oil due to the driving season. It's more pronounced than maybe a sector like uranium or some of these other sectors. TTF gas, we're back to support, down a little bit, 3.8%, right on support level. Natural gas down a teeny bit, and this is going to take some time, guys. Just it's going to take some time. Give it some time to base out. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, up 0.5%. We are starting to break through the neckline here. Very, very good. Now, I want to talk about one thing before we move on. If yields go up, XOP is not impacted by yields going up. Precious metals are. So you can use precious metals and energy stocks to kind of balance a portfolio. Energy looks really good. It's just working its way on up, grinding on up. So we could see yields increase. It is possible through the summer we could have increased yields, and then maybe in June they start to do a rate cut or something. A guess. OIH is also working its way on up, looks pretty strong. And I think it looks fantastic from a longer term perspective. Nice big fat green candlestick on the monthly. The weekly's looking pretty good. Everything looks pretty good in OIH and XOP. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we are starting to break through this resistance level. Is it a bottom? It sure looks good. That's what I'll say. Momentum's to the upside. And like you've heard me before, let's hope that momentum can continue. URA up a little bit. Is that kind of a bloody nose? It could be. Again, let's see if we get follow through. URNM, is it a bloody nose? It could be. And the same thing for URNJ. We do have some resistance above us. We do need to break through it on all of these. So again, we have to break through it. The thing that I'm looking at, is this a potential head and shoulders pattern? It could be. So again, the technical analysis guys who try to trade in the short term, it's hard. Longer term, you just lengthen your horizon and you don't care about these short-term little market movements. You just ride it on up. The longer you take in terms of your time frame, the higher probability of success, as long as the underlying fundamental trends are still in place. Tan up a little bit, but not super convincing. Still moving sideways. We've got copper up a little bit. Not a convincing day either. Are we going to get a retest here, or is this just a bloody nose that we're going to rip here at any second? I kind of think that we're in an uptrend. We've broken out of the pattern. We very well could do a full retest, which brings us back here before heading higher. So again, let's just watch it and see what happens. COPX just moving sideways. It looks very good to continue higher. Looks very good. Lithium down a little bit. Again, we're right on that top of that pattern there. And I know I've got a really ugly looking. It's pretty ugly looking, but we're right there at support. Could this be a return move? It very well could be. And we'll have to see follow through tomorrow. REMX, a little bloody nose. It looks like it wants to go higher, which makes me think that lithium wants to go higher if rare earth metals are going to go up. So that looks good. S&P 500 continuing to move up. And NASDAQ continuing to move up. Kind of an interesting little pattern here. We were going sideways. Is this a false little breakout move? Because the momentum is going lower on both the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Let's wait and see what occurs. That's kind of what a lot of this is. If you get to a top, you just have to wait and see how this plays out. And then we could potentially head lower. It's still possible. Not stating it will do that. I'm just stating it's possible. KRE up a little bit. Looking pretty good. I think, what was it, the long end of the curve was basically flat. So banks were up a little bit. Emerging markets working its way on up here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of momentum here in the short term. Longer term, it's not looking too bad. XHB just ripping it. Is this the Livermore accumulation cylinder? Kind of looks like it, guys. I mean, this thing is ripping. But, people on YouTube are convinced that we are in a housing bubble, even though we have the largest deficit of homes ever built and we're at super low inventories. Good luck with that call. Moo, it's a little bloody nose. It looks good to continue higher. And I think a lot of those small down days that we're seeing today are probably bloody noses. They're continuation patterns to the upside. Iron ore moving sideways. It's looking good. It's looking like it's trying to put in a bottom. We still have a lot of momentum here, though. So let's be patient, see where it goes. Nickel down a little bit today, but again, I think we're bottoming here, and we'll do some bottoming type action. Aluminum up 1.4%. Looks fantastic. Let's rip this thing, guys. It looks like copper and aluminum are moving together. Must be the what is it called? Transmission lines or power lines. Basically driving all this that we're gonna have to build. Baltic Dry Index, a little bit of selling pressure here, down 4.5%. Looks like we could potentially go down in the short term. That's a bearish engulfing pattern right now. We've got Newcastle coal futures up about 1%, and this is bottoming. Again, it's gonna just be like natural gas. It's gonna take some time to bottom out. We've got Bitcoin down, surprisingly. Wow. It's trying to bottom here. Even though we were down today, it still could easily work its way on up if it wants to. Maybe go sideways and then work its way on up. It could. Not stating it that's the case, but it still could. It still looks all right. And same with Ethereum. It's just a small bloody nose down day, and it still could work its way on up or go sideways and base out for a little bit. SMCI ripping it up today. God, it's up 8%, and it still didn't really make that much headway up here. Doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. That's what I'll say. And we'll see how this thing trades over the next few days. Let's look at NVIDIA real quick just to see what that's doing. Up 1.18%. The momentum is definitely slowing down. We'll see what occurs over the next few trading sessions. So that's what I'm seeing there. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we need some more data here. Like we need a couple more days in gold, in silver, see if oil breaks out of its channel, see if we have a clear path on where interest rates are going. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Things are kind of looking a little bit toppy in the tech sector. Yeah, could it be premature? Could we get another move up? We very well could. Um, Copper looks really good. Aluminum looks really good. So, it looks like to me that we could see inflation coming with copper ripping. If oil starts to rip out, rip up to the upside, and we could even get uranium to participate to the upside as well. So it seems like we're almost coming back into an inflationary swing here. But let's get some more data. Let's see where interest rates go. And I'll hold my judgment until I start to see these things start to break out. All right, guys. So I've got for today. Catch you next time. This is Finding Value.